I could tell you the story of how the Ryan show kind of, I wouldn't say blew up. Still don't even think we've technically blown up, but how we kind of got some real momentum going. And it all started 3.5 years ago, where a lady who went by the name of Valerie Smith, she was running for public office out in the Hamptons. She made some very racist remarks, crazy racist remarks, and was busted on a 911 call saying all these things. I don't know if the 911, I don't know if the police turned the radio to the media or turned the recorded phone call into the media. Somehow they got their hands on it. So she was all over it. And because it was out in the Hamptons, people wanted to know what she had to say. So she had called into Hot 97, a bunch of major places interviewed her, New York Post. And people were just giving her so much crap, she refused to apologize. So I decided to slide into her DM. And then we were the crazy underground show of the Hamptons, and I figured, you know what, we might have a shot at getting this crazy lady on here and try to bridge the gap. Because it just happens that the people, so I already messed this story up, because the reason why she was saying crazy racist things were because my friends were throwing Hennessy bottles on her lawn and drinking and rapping in front of her house and doing all these things that were really obnoxious in her mind. So she was just screaming at them while she was on the phone with police, saying all this crazy stuff. And like I said, these are my friends. So they called me and they told me, yo, this crazy racist lady, you got to see this shit. It's crazy. It's all over the news. So I said, guys, let's try to bridge the gap. Like, and they felt a little bad. They're like, yo, she's not really racist. We were kind of just like share buttons, and she's crazy, but she just, God knows what's going on in her head. So, according to her, she has all types of mental problems or whatever. So I DM'd the lady trying to bridge the gap. And she actually answered me, and we had her agree to come onto the show. And she had a big town conference coming up, and there was a huge protest held. And pretty much every single minority from the Hamptons and beyond showed up with picket signs trying to make sure that she failed and that, tried to run her before she even got up on the stage. And so I told her that I would be able to get her protection so that she wasn't jumped or attacked, as that was part of the deal, that she'd come onto my show as soon as this thing was over, as soon as the town hall meeting was over, she would come onto the Ryan show. So I had to find 2 bodyguards, and I don't know 2 bodyguards. So I ended up getting some crazy pimp that I just happened to meet through the show for some crazy segment, and an ex-UFC fighter who was very controversial in his own right. He took countless times. Luke Kumo. Shouts to my boy Luke Kumo. So she's going up on. So this lady's going up on stage to apparently make a public apology. And remember, the whole town's there. Everybody's there. There are hundreds and hundreds of people there. News 12, all the newspapers and Newsday and everybody else to see what was going to go down. So she gets up there, and everybody's waiting to hear her apologize. And she just refuses to apologize. So she gets booed out off the stage. Literally, everybody starts booing. It was like a scene out of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Because I'm inside the town hall with this pimp and the UFC fighter trying to protect her. And everyone's hissing at me. They're like, I'm like trying to push through the crowd. I got her holding her hand, trying to bring her out. They're like, you're racist. They're hissing it. And the pimp is a black guy. So they're really confused as to why this pimp is protecting her. I was like, so anyway, we leave, and the news cameras come up and rush us. News 12 is broadcasting live. And I jumped in front of the cameras and said, no. The only way you're going to hear what she has to say is if you tune into the RyanShow.net. And right there, that was it. We had the show right down the road where I directed all the people. So we had like 200 people show up to the live show that we were doing, where we tried to bridge the gap. So we had the people that she was cursing out, my friend Tremaine, and who the hell was it? Yeah, it was whoever it was. There was like 3 or 4 of my friends over there. And so we get to the spot, we're going to do the interview, and he comes up to me, you know what? I've been thinking about it. Fuck this bitch. I'm going to throw her under the bus. I'm like, great. So now there's the news there, all these people, and I'm trying to bridge the gap. I was hoping that maybe we could, all she would have to say is, look, people say things that they don't mean when they're angry. They look for the craziest, most vicious thing, but she really was racist, but she just refused to apologize. Ended up getting into a screaming match with guys on the air, and that's it. The rest was history. We ended up on News 12. The listenership skyrocketed that night, and then people were just listening to us ever since.
Yo, he told a good story, right?
I mean, it's a story.
It's a really good, I'm laughing my ass off when listening to the story, you know. And one part of what I took from that was, ladies and gentlemen, all you had to do was ask. Like, all you did was you went in the DM and just asked. And
I DM'd it.
Yeah.
I slid in the DM like I would do a lady and just said, look, that, and then that was it. And she answered, responded. Yeah, she, you know, it is a shit, you know, because people might say things when they're angry, but I guess it's sad to say that, yeah, racism, as we all know, really does exist. So crazy stuff.
Where is she now?
Good question. I really don't know. I know she dropped out of the race, and I mean, I don't wish anybody dead. You know, I hope everybody can like figure it out, whatever's in them that makes them angry and nasty, and figure it out and fix it. You know, so hopefully she's doing better than she was.
Yeah, man. I mean, hopefully she woke up from that. You know, her loss is your gain, huh?
Well, I mean, I find it ironic that all of that racist shit that she said really did cause a lot of unity. I mean, we bridge a lot of gaps on the show, not just with race. Look, like I talked about earlier, we're crossing cultures nonstop. We got, if it weren't for Valerie Smith being a crazy racist, Keith would not have made sushi today. And that's cultural fusion if I've ever seen it.